organized a demonstration. They went to the governor's office and they said to the governor, you cannot send our neighbors. They are our neighbors, and according to Quran, you cannot kill any innocent individual. Government dismissed them from the office. You might have heard all these. Boğazlayan, the governor, executive director of Boğazlayan Kemal, was hanged 1919 April because of his commitment in genocidal process. During his killings, a group of villagers from the regions where these really massacres were occurring, they went to the places where Kemal and Teşkilat-ı Mahsusa units, the special organizations unit, were killing the Armenians. And these units attacked these Muslims to remove them from the field because these individual villagers, they wanted to save of the Armenians. So I don't want to exaggerate these also, because genocide happened and there was not enough courageous people to save Armenian lives. But today, almost in every Kurdish village in eastern provinces, you can find an Armenian individual. Not always because of altruistic reason. There were some other reasons also we know. For example, they wanted to take Armenian children as labor force for their household, as slaves. There were several reasons, but at least they functioned in that. So we have to develop a differentiated view of the Ottoman rulers and the role of Islam. One more information: during genocide, when the rulers in Istanbul made their decision for the genocide, religion didn't play a role in their perception. For them, in their calculation, this is what I tried, this is something new. In my book also, I show that they were actually modernist social organizers, and they wanted to design Anatolia based on their imagination, and they used the religion according to their purposes also. How? They first allow Armenians to convert, and those converted Armenians survived. You think that those converted even deported and killed? No. Converted Armenians until July 1st, 1915 could survive, and after July 1st, 1915, conversion was banned. Even converted Armenians were deported, and in Syria again conversion were allowed November 1915, and 1916 Armenians had no chance, either Islam or death, and a certain amount of numbers, 1916 April, May, they were sent to Derzor for extermination. Why these up and downs? Religion don't play any role. Why the numbers? I think based on Ottoman materials, I showed that the Ottoman authorities was interested in Armenian numbers. They wanted to keep Armenian numbers around 10% of the Ottoman population. And about 10% could not be assimilated. Armenian could keep their identity. Talat writes in his telegram, he says, we cannot allow more than 10% because they will, even they converted into Muslim religion, they will keep their being an Armenians. We should remove them from there. So there was a really mathematical accuracy there. They were not fanatical. This is what I'm saying. They were not Islam fanatics. And they were not planning and implementing this genocidal plan based on Islam. They were planning with the positivist, modernist numbers and modernist understanding of a society. Some of them were educated in military schools. Some were graduated from the medical school. Some studied in Sorbonne in France. So they were all well-educated, positivist, influenced by social Darwinism. So religion played a role, and it is very important for us to look into it. This is another maybe answer to the question why we should look more closely what played religion in the role. And to your information, among Islamist people in Turkey today, a discussion has been started already. There are different interpretations and attitudes towards Armenian genocide among Islamist scholars and intellectuals also, and my hope is they will join us in our fight for creating a new democratic Turkey.
Okay, maybe
Go ahead.
the last three questions or remarks in case you have any. 1, 2, 3.
Good evening, Professor. Thank you for being here tonight. I am a citizen of Lyon, and I wanted to listen to you because it was first very interesting, and you were answering Mr. Chetarian concerning a question he had concerning the fact that how we can now continue the research concerning the Armenian genocide. You were pointing that you were one of the few scholars who were still continuing the research. I had the opportunity to work personally. It's a remark, and for your information, if I can give you more information on the studies you will be doing, I had the opportunity to work with my mentor, who was Arthur Balerian, and we had the opportunity. You were saying that you were lacking of information concerning what happened in some villages, in local villages. I can tell you that because I've been doing these researches, but I'm not an historian, and Mr. Balerian died too early to continue this work with him. But I can tell you that in the archives of the Christian missions over there, you have a lot of information. I can give it to you if you are interested. And here, but unfortunately, and this is very, very unfortunate for the Armenian people, we don't have any scholars to do and to continue these researches. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tanner. It's a pleasure to listen
See you
to
again after years, huh?
here in Geneva. I would have a very short comment and many questions, but for tonight, just 2 short questions. The first comment is just to add something. When you were speaking about realpolitik and morality, you know I'm a legal scholar, and I'm going to add the legal issues. I think we can also add in our perspective of evolution of the situation, law, and in particular international human rights law, and some tools given by international criminal law. Even though we cannot directly use them for the Armenian genocide case, but we can, look on few tools that are used and that history shows that have been used, and I currently work on that concerning transitional justice, precisely because you mentioned the issue of transitional justice. So let's not forget that, because there are some legal tools that we might be able to put in the perspective if we want to consider transitional justice values in the case of the link between Armenia and Turkey. This was the first comment. Now I have just 2 short questions. The first one is, we definitely did understand your point, because it was very clear about the interest for Turkey to stop denial, even from a realpolitik point of view. Now I have a question, the reverse question. What, on your opinion, Daniel, is the main reason, the main interest for Turkey to denial and to have denial during so long? I mean, you of course know that if a mechanism is so deep inside and so deep politically, it also means there is an interest not to stop this mechanism. So I have a few hypotheses, but I would be very happy to actually have your personal opinion on that. What is the interest for Turkey to continue denying? This is my first question. The second question is about the last work you did with Bahaken Dadrian, and the huge translations you've been going through the work you're doing on the archives of the trials you were mentioning, the Turkish trials of the 19th and 20s. I was interested to know if the recent work you've been doing with Bahakin on those trials gave you some new elements in your ongoing researches, and if you can find some new keys in your research perspectives, or haven't you find anything brand new regarding the own work you had done before? Thank you.
Last one.
Hello, Tane. Yeah. Professor, thank you very much for your very knowledgeable historical analysis. I agree with you totally. And I also agree with the Tallinn who said the things I wanted to say. I can maybe venture a few responses. One of them would be that the Armenian genocide question is not a bilateral question anymore. It's not between two countries or two governments, but it's on the international agendas. I've said this before, and I'm continuing. It has been mentioned in just about all the international human rights bodies. It has been acknowledged by about